back again today with some more Masquerada. Um, we're going to be starting off with the notes that I didn't read at the end of the last stream. I also have my sleepy kitty boy next to me. There he is. Good little man. Um, so we will get right into this. Starting off with the investigation notes. It has been but 2 days since my arrival in the city, and the world I thought I'd return to is already unrecognizable. I was put on damn forceless on mind. After we'd fallen into the abyss beneath the pin drop, came upon a set of ancient ruins in which we stumbled upon a detailed ritual cleansing that prisoners of the Dementicate underwent before they turned into Masquerades. I feel so foolish scribbling those words, but I know they are true. Masquerades are once been people. It was written all over the door in the final chamber of the ruins. It cements the notion I had earlier that artifacts we're searching for are somehow involved. And one day it's been translating the writings on the wall when one line stood out to me. Through the Father's heart you will be redeemed. I have no doubt that the choice of words is intentional. The heart that is spoken of in the ritual must be referring to the heart, one of the pieces of the trevor. Cannot believe how serendipitous our encounter in the ruins has been. No pieces of evidence led us to the pin job specifically, yet without the knowledge we gleaned from the ruins. I understand like horrors and sayings, but it feels like something greater than coincidence at work here. A silly thought, I know, but staring at the statue of Brayog in the ruins, I must shake the foolishness and return to the task at hand. Treasurer told us we must go to the golden canvas to find the Dactyte's hideout. As for Lysandra, when the day comes, Liz, I shall ensure the song be sung in your name. Let's see. Says we had a new one. Let me see. Hmm. I'm not sure. I don't see any new ones that I can recall. Anyway, here. She's broken. She had the chance to make up for all those years of hate towards Alexandra, and she spurned it. I knew she would have had things up with her if she could. After I spoke to her about Invidious, I could tell. Pressure had been lifted, a weight eased. She'd taken the first step. To make it all the worse, she didn't have the chance to finish the journey. Ever since I've watched her walk around, seeing how her gaze has become weighted, her posture's bent, her steps ever so heavier. This is a kind of grief that is inconsolable. It's a loss coated with the tenacious remorse that allows it to endure, inoculates it from healing words or soothing touch. She's in a better place than she was before. Before, her heart had been hidden behind fiery thorns and icy bulwarks of resentment. Those fortifications time cannot touch, only fuel. Now her heart is steeped in a kind of loss and grief that waters of time will dilute. This one? I'm not considering myself a man in position, astute in as many of the words I am, lacking in thoughtful consideration. I will however admit that Leventhos' suggestion to give his son a masquerade has not been something I had ever given thought to. Much like the Ombrians that lived in the days of the first canticle, Lev has always been of the notion that masquerades bring more trouble than they're worth. For the most part, I'm inclined to agree. If one were inclined to preserve one's life, staying out of the dance of politics might possibly be the wisest thing one could do in the city. Say leaving it. Harry seems to have changed his mind, wishes I take his son under my wing. How great of an idea that might be, I have yet to come to an opinion on. What I can say for certain is how much I admire Leventhos' concern for his family. It's difficult enough for the heart of this world, what with the challenge of surviving in the city, to find energy to care so deeply about another is a true feat. Love, familiar or otherwise, is not something that survives easily in the streets of the city. Construed as a weakness that might be exploited. But as I've established before, Leventhos is not a man I'd call oft met. His romantic inclinations might perhaps be better seen in no other example than of his wedding. They even bothered to hold a ceremony is really atypical in Ombre, but he is sentimental and traditional, and insisted I be deeply involved. This is ridiculous, Van, I said, looking down at the garments that hung on my shoulders. I'm 19 years old, not a runic priest. I don't know how these things work. Firstly, most of our priests complete training at age 18. Secondly, you don't have to know anything, he said as he adjusted his attire in the mirror. You just have to. I held up the paper. These are my instructions. It's 23 pages. I've got more pages than I have years of age. You just have to be able to read. That's what I was going to say. There must be someone else that can do it. Yes, there is, he replied as he turned away from the mirror. There are a couple of men I know that had once been priests. One of them lives in the Golden Canvas. Now I'm confused, I replied. If there was someone else, a priest even, what was the point in my reading the rites? Leventhos moved to the side of his room, tiny quarters in the attic of the Leaping Lion, and took a loose sheet of paper that sat on a table. He held it out to me. It's a list of people who are invited. Livia wrote it all down so she could make seating arrangements downstairs. I took the paper and looked at it. There were 10 people on that list. 4 Flaventos. Livia and the members of my family were discounted. Fine, it's a small wedding. It's still a wedding, and I don't want to mess it up. Ven, this is your special day. With startling firmness, he clasped my shoulders. Precisely, Cicero. Trust me when I say the importance of the day doesn't escape me. So my entire life during the day, I would seal my love with the woman of my dreams. I can scarcely believe it's all worked out so well. Livia is everything I've ever wanted and more, and the Leaping Lion is prospering. Now that it has, I feel like I'm unprepared, like I'm a mess. I know you might not feel it under those robes, but my hands are so clammy that it's almost disgusting. I feel like I'm on the verge of crying and laughing and dying and screaming in joy all at the same time. Then his voice dropped and he spoke with a tenderness I don't believe I've ever heard since. And that's exactly why I want to share this moment with the people in my life who I treasure, not some scarce acquaintance dressed in robes. I'll be honest with you, Cicero, he said, his voice barely whispered. The day I offered you a job here, I hadn't done it purely because I wanted an assistant. I did need help getting this place up and running, yes, but I was barely 20 years old. I was alone in a new world. I had no one. I wanted. Yes, it sounds pathetic, but I wanted a friend. So you thought the boy that tried to steal from you would make a good candidate? I replied. He chuckled and shook his head, breaking his gaze, and turned to me. Please, Cicero, I want you to be a part of this. It would mean the world to me. It's difficult enough to find sweet moments in the city, and now we have the opportunity to make one. Let's not put it to waste. What do you say? Just 23 pages. I looked down at the colorful robes that hung from my shoulders and sighed. When I get married in the future, I want that vest, you understand? He laughed heartily. I promise when you get married, I will tell you so much more. He rushed over and embraced me. Thank you, Cicero. And I must confess, there were a few pages I accidentally left out. Okay. Dreams are not tokens handed down easily. The passing of belief from a person to another is a process that has no formula and leaves little tangible evidence in its wake. I do not believe that it is a skill that can be taught, or an ability that can be learned. It is simply something that happens, or in Jezero's case, something that doesn't. Can't blame the man for not taking up the mantle. It's one made heavy by the blood it has been steeped in. Does not make the decision weigh any less upon my heart. After all, his dream was one of the last few things Cyrus left behind. Much as I'm inclined on attempting to convince Jezero to reconsider, I know it would be hypocritical of me. Until I can convince myself that I fight for my brother's cause, how am I to convince anyone else? It seems I was wrong indeed. That strength the Sandra had, it was special, but not by virtue of its nature. Special because she held it. Now it's gone. So is the last fragment of my brother's dream. My father used to tell us a short tale when we were young. I believe he penned it himself. He told us there was some kind of lesson in it. I think it went something like this. The sheep are scattered, each by its lonesome. The sheep have no dreams and no wishes or troubles. The sheep find a shepherd to take their burdens. He thinks for them and bears their stress. The sheep are bright, mirthful, radiant. Their lives know less grief, but instead companionship. The sheep stand together, those once many, now called one. But time is a cruel mistress, and no fruit stays right forever. She comes and claims even the best are not spared. The sheep lose their shepherd, the flock is now free. I never know what the message behind the story was. I'm unsure if I ever will. And did we get any lore extras? No. Okay. How many points do we have? We have 4 here. Let's see. Alright. So that'll be the next one we go for, I think. You have 3 points. Also have 3 points. Let's do some more damage reduction. I'll do that. We're back at the top. Okay. Let me take a quick look at some of the inks and engravings that we unlocked. So we have the beginning one for 2% mass charge, movement speed increase. Okay. Restores 2%. Okay. 25 damage, 20 rock. 20 and 25. So these are just flipped. And then the rest we don't know yet.
What?
Ah, Inspectore. I was wondering who was going to pick that up.
Did you hang it here?
It? I don't even know what it is.
It's a bone whistle. I used to play with them when I was much younger. With an old friend of mine.
Can you still play? Well, that sounded pretty good.
Yes, well, we have places to go.
Ah, yes, the golden canvas. Ready when you are, sir.
Huh. Sorry, just trying to make snackies and hopefully the cat. Oh, you heard me. Hmm. Mm-mm.
Ready to go, sir?
Who's on the first trip?
The cat walked away
Yourself,
now because
Amadea,
he's
Vasco, and the Marshal.
not
We'll come
happy
back
I
later
cannot
for the
give him
Mariner
my
and the innkeeper's family.
snackies.
Let's go then.
Mm.
Exciting, isn't it, sister? I've never celebrated Seiho's sojourn before.
Just remember, almost everything there is more expensive than it needs to be. Keep your crescents for the things that you need.
Oh, I will. I've got a whole list of them I think I can find there.
Ugh.
Thank you for waiting, Cicero. I just wanted to make sure you got here safe.
Don't worry. The Mariner took great care of us.
Hurry up, Ma. We haven't got all day.
Your son's right. The bazaars await.
All right, my boy. Let's go see what the peddlers are offering.
Are you going to be all right?
Calden, please. Go and enjoy the festival. Just keep an eye out for the grating while you're at it. I'll go check on the others, see if they've spotted anything.
All right, then. I've got a few things I think I might be able to find here as well.
kinds of vendors. First, explore this way. Okay. Trying to collect all the bone first. And also get any snippets we can find. Alright, so that's the grading we are looking for, so I'm not going to go near there yet.
Thinking to buy one?
Buy a flute. Nothing is worth as much as a flute crafted by the flautist's own hands. I'm here to see if I can pinch some inspiration.
Well, that one looks interesting.
Ah, that's a Cato flute with 3 individual mouthpieces. Only Airbrands can bring out the beautiful harmonies they were meant to produce. Far too cumbersome for a traveler like me, though.
What's your type of flute, then?
That one, over there.
Simple.
It's a traditional runic flute called Aniode. It was brought over with runic culture in the 4th canticle, even before the Terrals came. But of course, you don't want to hear about the 4th canticle, do you?
I don't?
Not when it pales in comparison to the 2nd, no?
Why would you say that?
Oh, it's just something I overheard once upon a time. That life in the 2nd canticle was... how should I put it? Worth dreaming of.
Where did you hear that?
You didn't have to lie to me, you know. About the artifacts being the key to creating Masquerades. It would have made no difference to me.
Who have you told?
No one. Please.
Kitten
what
boy,
are you
come
getting
sit
at?
next to me.
I've been trying to tell you, ever since I saw you at the Bleeding Beetle. But I just wasn't sure how.
What is it?
It's... how do I put this? I'm...
The Bloodless.
yes, I am, in fact, him. But that's...
If you heard the conversation I had with Amadea, you must have returned quite early in the night. Timings don't match up if you needed to report to the Bloodless first. Even less so if you were supposed to spread rumors. You have lackeys for that, don't you?
yes, you've made good deductions, but...
I won't tell the others. As long as you promise to keep the details of the artifacts to yourself, too.
I suppose that'd be...
Honey bunny,
Is
behave.
there anything else you wish to say?
only that I haven't seen any sign of the grating yet.
Well,
Come here.
keep looking then. I'll go see what I can find. Moscow, I do appreciate the honesty.
So much for that.
mean, that was really surprising. Um,
Thinking of buying something?
You can calm down
This
again?
one.
Valenturia. Tales of the Second Canticle.
Lysandra used to sing it too. Must have picked it up from your brother.
Was she any good at it?
Terrible. But she was never sour about it.
You know, she did it for you.
I know. I know. What she did 5 years ago. I knew she did it to protect me. That didn't make it any easier to swallow. But now, what have I done?
It'll be all right.
Cicero, I'm so sorry. It's just... Ever since leaving the Malacate, I've been scared to be a part of anything again.
And
It's all right. I understand. Now, chin up. We've got a grating to find, yeah?
Yes. Yes, we do. Thank you, Cicero.
I was wondering if we could actually go inside any of these, but it doesn't look like it. And it looks like some of these just repeating.
I didn't know you liked carvings.
Cicero, I didn't see you there.
What have you got there?
Well, nothing.
Calden?
You have the most damnable timing.
What is it?
Oh, it's so cute.
When I was a skipper, I used to go down to the shore and scour the beaches for these sun skulls, a type of coral.
That's a rather ominous name, isn't it? Sun skulls?
On the contrary, the midnight belt is black, but somehow these manage to retain their brilliant color. A ray of light in a sea of shadows. A source of hope in a mire of despair. I'd have carved one myself if I had the time, but since we're here...
Who's it for?
Each one of my kids has one. Jaxus did. My brother does. I get them for the people in my life that have given me hope. This one is for you.
Me?
For not turning me away, even though you easily could have.
Calden.
In this city, it is difficult to call one a friend and truly mean it. But I do. And I want you to know that.
Calden, I don't...
Please.
Thanks. Any sign of the grating?
Not yet. But I'll keep looking.
We'll get here.
Bristlethorn for your armor?
Someone knows a thing about polishing, I see.
Of course. Who do you think keeps my buckles shining? So, what's Fabio's opinion on what's been going on?
The Judge Master's keeping an eye out. He understands that it's too early to act until more concrete trails can be found. Or at least until we know what the artifacts can do.
And when you do, he will know about them?
Inspectore, know that your efforts at undermining my loyalty to the Luca are in vain.
I don't understand. You can clearly see what is at stake, but yet you think it's more important to keep your guild informed, even though you are fully aware that they might, in the future, jeopardize the investigation.
Do you know who my father was?
I don't know any Luca that carry the De Felici family name. No.
De Felici was my mother's family name. My father was Judge St. Rius.
I'd heard he was a great judge.
He was also a great father who taught me everything that I know about the Luca. My earliest memory ever was of a Luca parade, staring at rows and rows of beautiful gold as he carried me in his arms. Oh, it had been a sight. A man as large as my father, tenderly holding a little girl at a Luca parade. He told me that he never heard the end of that tale from those around him, that he ensured daily that I knew he did not regret it. To him, displaying his love for me was worth more than his reputation as a strong, steeled man. But if you've heard of him before, then you'd know that his song is upon the singing tree.
It's been there for a decade.
I loved, and still love, my father, Inspectore, and the Luca is his legacy. Have I helped you understand?
Yes.
Good. Now, if that is all, I believe we have an entrance to find.
One more look around just to be sure. I think we have everything. Look at all the kitties. Wait, what's that? Huh? Oh my god. Oh my god. We can interact with the kitties. Why can we interact with the kitties all of a sudden? It's like the first time it's let us do that. Oh dear. Oh, whoops. Okay, I'm sorry. I did not mean to knock that over. Is there any other? Can we interact with them? Oh, we can't. I don't see any other stuff. What about chickens? Chickens? Can we interact with you? No, cannot interact with the chickens. So why? What is this with these cats? There's a whole bunch of them here. Huh. Alright. Well, we're gonna stand next to these adorable kitties. And then we're gonna read a bit more. Because there's a lot to go over. Craftsmen who practice Meliere are called Fabra, specialize in engraving, etching patterns into weapons equipment. Meliere works the physical alteration of the equipment itself. Though a typical engraving about the size of a palm only marginally affects abilities, a collection when combined with painted works of a mezzanine can produce quite significant improvement. The artist known as Artigiani practiced with mezzanine or mezzaniere, not sure. Both painting and dyeing of symbols, patterns. improved connection with their element, but with etchings affects proficiency. So I haven't added any symbols to any of the masks that my characters have. I don't know if it takes, like, if we can have more than one added on, or if there's a way we would need to clear it, or like once you decide, like, that's it. So that's why I've been holding off. Golden Canvas may not be the principal order of the Diete Silverani, but is among the most prominent. The legacy of the Thero family lives on. Its high, colorful glass houses and beautiful vistas. Making most of their revenue from trading artisanal goods, the Diete have the most skilled, creative artigiani and fabra. It is under the marvelous drapery of the Golden Canvas they are found practicing their craft. Writer of the deity without first recounting the history of the Thero family. Considered most foreign of Ombre's guilds, who they consider principally people from Rhone, who have come to Ombre in the fourth canticle. The Rhone people were part of the upper echelons of their society and had an intense fascination with art in various forms. And with the wonders of the lands of Ombre, they thirsted to experiment with the powers of the land, find new ways of working them into their art. Ombre benefited greatly from the presence of course, and many of the breakthroughs in Medea can be attributed directly to those influential of the runic families, the Theralds. Great works of art that were created using the powers of the masquerade and submit to Ombre as the apogee of artistic achievement in the region. Merchants of the fourth had thought they'd seen good days, but if they'd seen ports of Ombre during the fifth, they would have sung a different tune. At the time, however, the name of deity was still not present in the mindscape of the city. Everyone knew who the Theralds were, but they were part of no guild. They contributed greatly to the flourishing. They were no exception to the masculine rule when it had been implanted. So, adopting the lingua franca of the region, the deity Sovrani was created. Some, however, still refer to the guild by its name in their native language, Kinshe. Flourishing of art, flood of wealth brought in were trademark influences of the legacy. At the time, however, members of the deity began priding themselves more on the latter, and soon wealth and influence overtook art. Oh, there it is. Theralds were not the first running people to arrive at the shores, but they were without a doubt the most influential. They were a large clan of running people that had grown tired of the ideals and the artistry of their home country. Among the upper echelons of society, they were Zahos among Ashans, they sought more than what life in Rune could offer. Word of masquerades and powers beyond the knowledge surface, Therals were quick to venture across the Midnight Belt onto the shores of Ombre. Began assimilating to society, learned how to use masquerades. The first thing ways to use them for art. Masquerades had always been viewed as weapons rather than tools for art, but the Therals, with their viewpoint, saw the potential masquerades had for creating artistic wonders. So they experimented, learning to use them to paint, produce works of glass, play multiple wind instruments. Many modern visualists regard this blossom of culture as one of the primary causes of the Miscela. These inventions and discoveries brought many things. Wealth from the sudden increase in trade brought about by these works of art never before been seen. People from the Rendaja began to be lured by the extravagant lifestyle, and those from the midnight across the Midnight Belt were not immune to the enticing glamour of life in the blossoming city. The coming of the Therals was a significant event, and more so for those of runic ancestry who currently live in Ombre. To commemorate the great impact and significance that the Therals brought to society, principally runic festivals held every year called Sejo Sojourn, celebrated in memory of the head of the Theral family. Keeping in line with runic traditions, emphasis on trade and commerce is often celebrated with setting up bazaars, selling of antiques and trinkets. I suppose it wouldn't be fair to say it wasn't difficult figuring out the identity of the bloodless. Vasco didn't seem too bothered about me already knowing when he told me about it, so he must have taken that many precautions to hide it from me. He must have taken precautions to hide it from me. Sorry. I do hope, however, that for all our sake, he's done a better job concealing it from the rest of the city. I can't help but wonder what his intentions are revealing this fact to me. However, it seemed that there was something else he wanted to say. I suppose he'll tell me when time is right. I don't think it would have been right for me to prod. He seemed like a distant enough person. If it was something I needed to know, I'm certain I would have been informed. Now, with Damien's info here, the father who cares for him so deeply, and mother who's nothing but love, I'll say a family was insufficient and warm. What this boy has is something else altogether. Nowadays, we've almost cleared her section here. Magics of this world keep on many feet, mending bones, closing wounds. Still yet to be found a magic capable of restoring a heart. I remember the process was like for me. The moment I learned about my brother's demise, I lost the ability to stand. So every muscle in my body atrophied. Could not eat. So it became deathly sickness that robbed me of my appetite. I found it hard to breathe as though my lungs were filling up with a mnemonic fluid. I was overcome by a host of ailments. Slowly, as days turned to nights, turned to days, strength began to find its way back into my limbs. I began to eat more and could breathe without the looming threat of weeping. I began to enjoy again the presence of Kaiser. Not much. Little poor could only remind me of my brother. Time began repairing my spirit. Granted, I don't believe I ever allowed it to truly finish the job, but I had allowed it to at least pull me away from the cold edge. So that process began to work on an idea. Made much progress with her. A little time passed since we lost Cassandra, and I'm finally beginning to see the light in her heart. A far gentler one than I anticipated. A good light. I will say that despite what that it's taken for her to get here, I'm happy for her. A crack in the armor of the warrior. Judge Zane was her father, a brilliant man. And an excellent fighter from what I've heard. I never met the man in person, but from the stories that drift through the streets, I understand he was a notable judge in the Luca, though perhaps for a slightly more unorthodox reason. He was kind. Sorry about all the wrestling. Trying to keep it as quiet as possible. Kindness is not frowned upon within the ranks of Luca, however, it's scarcely prioritized. If a man or woman has been judged by the judges to have offended, punishment is meted out swiftly and brutally. Matters not how many mouths she has to feed or how many broken family he'll leave behind. Justice is justice, not to be tempered and weakened by considerations of consequences. But Luca's most earliest worldview, or view of perfectibility and incontrovertibility of what they believed to be justice was, from what I've heard, not something Zane subscribed to. The man didn't believe in absolute nature of justice. It wasn't this untouchable, unalloyed concept, impervious to change or deliberation. Instead, a particle society, and so, like the variegated society that birthed it, susceptible to discussion and amendment. Obvious reasons, he wasn't the most popular judge among the others, but he did perform the rest of his duties well. I'm unclear about the details surrounding his death. All that I know is that 10 years since his passing, and still his legacy is popular with the less conservative members of the Luca. Having said all that, I return to the idea of his daughter. The first thing that comes to mind is how disparate their personalities are. Here she stands telling me how much her father means to her, and yet her actions align so strong with the ideas of those that mocked him. The indubitable obeisance to hierarchy and duty, sheer deference to the will of the superior. There's something I'm missing, some reason for the dissonance between her actions and what she proclaims as her motivations. The long armor she wears hides a heart more faceted than I suspected. Hi, Bippo. No, 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 my love. No, no. You cannot have spicy sausage. You are a cat. Don't meow at me. No. No spicy sausage for you. It's not good for you. Come here. Trying to calm him down. Come here, honey. Come over on this side. You're a good little boy, huh? Yeah? Yeah? Come lay down, honey. Come on. I don't deserve this. There's a part of me that wishes he would stop. I've never before said that I wish someone would stop having so warm a heart, but here it is. It gives me tokens of friendship if all I've done is tell him to remain in the shadows. How can I tell him otherwise? Encourage anything else than remaining in shadows is ill wisdom. Investigation is already venturing across thin ice. I suppose the best I can do now is get Razakov back. Razatov back. Yes, that'll have to do. Kitters! Kitters! Alright.
Here we go.
This is it then?
Let's find out. 2 of you will follow me. The other 2 will stay out here in case anything goes wrong. Watch for signs.
Okay, who will be taking with us? Let me look at the case list again. Alright.
Ages. It's like there's a whole world under here.
Light. Over there.
Already, that doesn't look good. What we got here?
What's wrong with them?
Stone salt.
Oh, okay.
Seems like it.
Do we need to worry about them?
We don't have the time. From the looks of it, they aren't nearly done with its effects. We need to see what we can find.
Contadani?
It's not uncommon for them to be seen with the dealers, but
Something on your mind?
nothing. We should keep looking around.
Hmm.
Did you find something?
The lady has told how the seed will save, and how the knife will take the life it gave. The shadows will come as they did before, but she will save us, so she swore.
The shadows will come. What do they mean?
And who is this lady that they keep mentioning?
I don't know.
Is there anything else?
Nothing legible. Judging by the quality of the handwriting and the choice of rhyme, I'd say that whoever wrote this hadn't done it with a proper mind.
Then these are just a bunch of addicted lunatics.
Addicted lunatics do not so easily infiltrate the registry and capture one of its regenti. It seems like there is nothing else here. We should keep moving.
Alright. Made from the crystallization of certain minerals, stone salt is a part of Umbran culture since the fourth canticle. Reliance on the drug only became widespread in the seventh, and the lives of the Contadani took a turn for the worse, and suffering became far more widespread. Nowadays, salt users are nearly ubiquitous and can be found in any area densely populated by Contadani. Look around. The little mice who are adorable. Oh my god, they're so cute.
Intruders!
Justice will blind you!
Oof. Alright. Well. Here. Let's do this. And then put it over here. And that. That. Get some healing. Cannot get around this area.
I don't suppose they were expecting company.
Not the company of the colors, no.
What do you think this place is?
A salt emporium by the looks of it. It's probably one of the ways the Dactytes make a living.
And the Herald will be here.
That's what we're here to find out.
Okay. I still want to know what that thing with the cats was. Because I feel like I missed an opportunity now. Like, unless there's something that happens when we go back out. Awaken the March of the Broken Songs with Canticle, Registry witnessed an inundation of citizens that clamored and acquired masquerades. These two players in the city were cognizant of the fact that it contained unrestricted the balance that if continued unrestricted, the balance of power would shift radically out of the hands of the registry. The registry wasn't as power hungry as it might be considered to be currently. The threat of consolidation of power beyond the registry was very real. At the time, notions of unions or factions had begun spreading. People with similar interests began banding together. The Verona at the time, Lamia Morea, saw an opportunity in this phenomena to create a system in which groups of individuals could form a registry, a approved collective known as a guild. If they paid the registry masquerades, which were considerably more abundant at the time, simply giving someone a masquerade wasn't unheard of. Try that this day, you'd be lucky to survive. Support at the time took various forms, including registry station port ownership, near full jurisdiction over certain small sections of the city. Walls were often simply underdeveloped areas that the registry had no use for, could easily spare. The toll the registry exacted on the guilds was proportionally insubstantial in the early stages, and initiative was startlingly well received. Dozens of guilds sprouted, and masquerades flowed steadily into the hands of the registry. Furthermore, the jurisdiction that the registry gave the guilds over the underdeveloped wards seemed to provide fertile soil for pride that they'd taken it themselves. Developing infrastructure of the wards, and in a remarkable time, the city's overall framework was improved. Trade was bolstered significantly, part due to the rumors that had begun to travel across the Midnight Belt. The mutual beneficial relationship between the guilds and the registry lasted for a time, only a time. By the sixth canticle, the size of the guild-owned wards blossomed and encroached upon the registry's own territory, sparking conflict. Further, there were guilds that refused to pay the toll. This year's progress, number of masquerades demanded an increase. This not displeased larger guilds too much. They'd been hoarding masquerades. The nascent ones could hardly afford it. To discourage evasion of the law, strengthen their control over the flow of power, the registry created the notion of a mask runner, the sixth canticle, and made official the regulation that any person in possession of a masquerade who did not belong to an official registry-approved guild would be branded an outlaw. They'd be hunted down, and they would be severely dealt with. Therefore, if one were to find a masquerade, one had two options: turn it to the registry, or request to join one of the larger guilds. Over the years, other factors came into play. The divide between the Masquerada and the Cantadani widened. Some Masquerada factions began to be seen as embodiments of the city's anti-establishment sentiments, fighting for the benefit of the Cantadani. Fortunately, a large number continued fighting simply for themselves, and the notion of masquerades were petty criminals persisted for a long time. double checking if anything else new popped up. I don't think so. No. Okay.
Intruders! The light will cut you down!
No. Oh, they're running. I don't have that yet, so we'll pop that. And get those poppers out.
Salt breathers. Their leader was Izander before he'd been killed.
And now they're here?
And it seems this herald's influence is more far-reaching than I'd imagined. We should keep going. Mm. Hmm. Um.
Intrude! Hold your ground!
This guy. Oh. Can I? Alright. Back to you. Oh. That's not what I meant to do. There. Hi, honey. Wanna pop out the healing kit again? Sweetheart, no, no. Locked door here. Hey, behave yourself. I missed what that said. Oh, this one. Interesting. Okay.
Are they...
Producing salt. All part of surviving. Farbra and Artigiani don't run in the masked runner circles.
So they find other ways to get crescents.
Let's keep going.
Production of stone salt is a process more difficult than most suspect. Not only is equipment required bulky and difficult to procure, but it's far from enough to simply distill and crystallize the constituents. Ratios and proportions not only determine the efficacy of the drug, but lethality as well. There are few salt dealers that remain in the business after poisoning clients with impure product. Huh. He's now flopped next to me again. Little man. Hi. Hi. Look at that little face. Look at that little face he's got. Oh. And the purring. My sweet, sweet boy. Okay.
Who's that?
The Herald.
Her second in command is alive. You said the lady promised that the Malacarte would not live. Any of them.
The lady promised that you would have her men.
They spoke with Cicero Kavar. They know where we are. He could be on his way here right now. Tell me that that is what the lady wants.
Do not question the lady. You cannot see what the lady can, and you will never understand what she does. But she is more worthy of your trust than any other entity. Tell me that you cannot see that she has brought you higher than you've ever dreamed. You live as you've never lived before. Food, clothes, shelter. Tell me that you believe you would have those if you had not trusted the lady.
Many more of us would be alive if we hadn't.
Blasphemy! If you had not been under the lady's guarding wings, you would have been crushed by the portiere. It is because of her that you survive, that you can hide, that you can prepare yourselves for the coming dangers. Tell me that you would have known about the powers that made Masquerades, or that you would have known about the prophecies, or that you would ever have possibly stumbled upon this. This is but one of hundreds that she has promised us. Now witness its power, and know that the lady is true. See what the lady has flushed out of the shadows. Do not let them leave.
Oh no.
Ready yourselves.
Oof. This is, Are we? Alright. We can't continue fighting? I guess not.
Go! We'll buy you time.
Alright.
Cicero, the herald!
Damn it, come on. Where are you?
Cicero! We heard people screaming and...
Oh, great. I'm ready.
Well, let's pop some healing. Can we interact with the cats now? Can the cats help us? Oh, dang it. Put stuff in the way. Grr. Alright, so there's like one person just left standing there like, yeah, this is fun. Holy cow. Alright, where are you? Here. Kitties? Well, now I can't interact with them anymore. Dang it. I want to know what that was about.
Cicero, I need help.
Lucia!
No.
Lucia! What are you doing?
I'm sorry, Cicero. Take him.
Think that we should be moving elsewhere.
This place is good enough.
But they know.
This is good enough.
Yes, Harold.
Now leave. He's waking up. How are you feeling? You've been out for hours.
What happened?
I do apologize. I hadn't expected my men to be so rough.
Your men? The Herald?
I also apologize that you had to find out this way.
No.
I'm afraid it is true,
Tell me you're here to get me out.
Cicero.
You traitor! Sonless bitch!
Get a hold of yourself.
Ophina, Corvus, it was you.
That was necessary.
And Razatov, you have him. Answer me!
It was relatively painless.
Damn it, Lucia! Why? Answer me!
She has a plan.
What are you talking about?
How do you think the Dactytes have stayed one step ahead of you all this while? You think we were lucky?
The lady. Who is she?
A visionary. Someone with plans for the city.
Someone who has turned you against us all. You've killed 2 Inspectores and the Regenti, Lucia. And for what?
It had to be done. Sometimes drastic measures must be taken for the greater good.
Is that what your lady has told you?
She is right.
Words of a revolutionary. And like every revolutionary that has passed, she and all those that follow her will end up dead.
She is Fae!
What?
She is of the ancient world, and she knows far more than you or I could ever hope to.
You're a mad woman. You're following a Fae. A mindless, senseless...
You have in your mind the peasantry of their kingdom. But the lady is nobility. She's more than just a beast. And she has plans to...
Plans to what? How can you believe that a creature like that could possibly be?
I have one of the artifacts. Yes. You are beginning to understand. How big, how vast this undertide of secrets is.
Get out of my head.
There are worlds worth of histories that are returning, and you have simply scratched the surface. What you learnt at the pin drop is a morsel of what exists. A fraction of the knowledge held by the forces that you plan to fight against.
How did you know about the pin drop?
Yes! Think. How is it that I knew? What powers are at my disposal that I can glean such knowledge? You understand what you've pit yourself against? Not just yourself, but those who travel with you.
You leave them out of this.
Spoken to a mirror. They have yet to cross the threshold. They don't need to. And if you reconsider your position, neither will you.
What?
You are here for a reason, Cicero. The lady has plans for you, if you will accept them.
You think I'm insane?
Is it insanity for the gull to veer from the storm front? They are here.
Cicero?
You are a wise man, Cicero, and are modest enough to admit the limits of your perception. Let that awareness guide your decision. We will meet again soon, Cicero. And by then, I expect you to have thought long and hard about where you stand.
He's here. Are you all right?
Fine.
Cicero! Thank the tides.
Ooh, that's not good.
It makes no sense. Why did she hide you in the golden canvas? She must have known that we'd search there again. Unless she wanted you to be found. Wanted to send the message to us that she had the capacity to capture you. And was willing to let you go to prove that she was confident she could do it again. That has to be it. And Razatov. Damn it. And she said nothing to you. Nothing at all.
I've already told you what happened.
Tell it again. Maybe you missed something.
We were in the golden canvas, and we found out where the Dactytes were hiding. We had a skirmish that brought us out of the streets, and I thought I caught a glimpse of her face, so I followed her. The next thing I know, I'm waking up to the sounds of explosions, and I see Lucia arguing with a Dactyte. The Dactyte wanted me dead. Lucia didn't. That's when Tristan came in.
So you never spoke to her?
How many times must we go over this before you believe me?
What of Razatov's work, then? Where to find these artifacts? How to use them?
Nothing.
Come here. $20,000.
But
I said bring him back. Unfortunately, I didn't specify that he had to be alive. You did your job. This is your payment.
a dismissal.
Simply an ending of your contract with the registry. And now, from here on, you no longer act under the purview of the registry, and thus we cannot protect you from the ramifications or account for the responsibility of your actions.
Of course. I understand.
Good. Then I'll see you around.
So, that's actually pretty smart, being like, well, our contract's ended, so we can't exactly stop you if you wanted to continue investigating. But we're not actually going to say that. So that's a pretty clever way of trying to get around, like, their own restrictions, basically. Um, but that also means, like, if he does stuff that, he isn't too careful about, they're also gonna have to lay out the law on him. So it's like a gray area type of thing. Yeah. Faye. Lucia claims that this lady, this figure she follows, is Faye. And that baffles me. What is the reason of hers that's convinced her Faye has the ability to guide her? Even worse, that all the atrocities she committed have been worth it. It's more than I'm seeing, and I know not how to begin gleaning the truths. Perhaps Lucia is right. Perhaps. What am I thinking? Darling, what is it, honey? Sorry, he's meowing so much. Come here. Come here. Come over here, Bobo. My little one. Come on. There are many ways of knowing things in this world. Sometimes that path lies between the pages of a book. Sometimes lies in experiences that are to come. And sometimes it stems from the unidentifiable source. Some things you just know. Others in different parts of our world might attribute the latter to some sort of divine presence. Gods themselves must have planted the seeds of the ideas in the mind. Others might say it was due to intuition. I'm not here to advocate either. I will admit this sort of knowledge exists. On my first return, I heard of Razatol was missing. One of my mind immediately told me the search was futile. I suppose it was the rational part of me speaking, intent on keeping me from investigating too much lest I pay the price later. Now the price isn't paid, for his death breaks at my breast and makes me breathing difficult. I would tell myself I knew from the beginning I just chose to ignore the knowledge, but would not make the grieving any simpler. Pale Isle hasn't always been the registry's principal ward. Only in the sixth canticle, after several rooms on its black curb cleared out, The citizens of Umber realized there was a great deal of underdeveloped land that lay beyond the ruins, deep under the shadow of the mountain. When the expedition team reported back and told them of newfound space, the registry moved quickly and decisively. Areas cleared of Fey and rubble, and within a month the infrastructure set up under that. The registry shifted its base of operations from what is now S'more's throne to the Pale Isle. Some say it is this sequestering from the people as governors that has led to its loss of intimacy with them. Ever since the registry uprooted itself and fled into the White Spire, citizens that its governed have been growing more distant and less respectful of its edicts. How much longer it will have control over the city remains to be seen, but it seems doubtful they'll have any more than a decade. Yes, my cuddly boy. Hello? Hello? He's getting his pettings while reading. My little snuggle cat. Oh, I missed one? Okay. All the while she'd been lying to me, baiting me, using me. When I met her at the White Spire, I knew she brought me back for a reason, but since more has happened in the past 5 years than I could have imagined. Okay. There we go.
That is a wise move. Knowing the dark trajectory of this investigation, it would be wise to divorce the registry from it.
Just seems a little bit cold leaving you out in the dirt like that.
I think it's excellent. Now it all depends on how the Marshal's going to spin it, eh?
I will tell Fabio that you've been dismissed from the case. He will likely still request that I watch you, seeing how close we are to learning what the artifacts actually did. But at least you will no longer associate this with the registry.
Ah, how wonderful it is to have such an honest spy among us now.
Better an honest spy than a deceitful friend. Now, I take my leave. The Judge Master should hear this from me in person.
I wonder what will happen when she finds out that we've been keeping things from her.
You know about the artifacts. Cicero, how does... Cicero? Are you all right?
I'm fine. Just...
Help!
Who's that?
Someone in trouble.
What
are they doing here?
Alright.
Watch your flanks!
These guys now.
In the corridor, sir, please. The Valencio needs help. Tristan!
Hang on. Gotta see if there's any... Okay. Because I don't want to miss any things here. Alright.
Tristan! There is something beyond this wall, and it is not going to hold much longer. Tristan!
Do not let them pass.
Let's do this!
just realized these are chairs. And obviously the book. Oh, so are they turning just like regular objects into Fey soldiers to do like maybe like an undercover attack mission? So like imagine if like there's a big gathering and then like all the objects in the hall where people are gathered come to life as like Fey assassins.
What happened?
Faye. A few of my men and I were walking through the hallways when they attacked. I don't know where they came from.
There are more of them beyond.
Yes. Allow me to recover, and I will summon the portieri.
We don't have the time. Rest well.
So we're trying to like pull my blanket up because it is so cold. It had said it was going to warm up this week. Like that only the initial days would be cold. But that wasn't correct, obviously. And now they're saying, oh, it's going to be warmer next week, actually. It's like, well, you said that about this week, and that didn't hold true, so we'll see.
This mist again.
Target practice.
Lucia's office.
No surprise the mists are thickest here.
Okay, I'm betting this is some kind of portal or something. Secret door, whatever. But let's see.
Paloff! This is torture. We have to get him out of here.
The chair has been bolted to the ground. We must remove the stakes.
We're going to get you out of here, but we need to remove these stakes. Do you understand?
No, Cicero, no!
Yeah, it's all made from like building materials and stuff.
is he?
Lost a lot of blood, but he'll make it.
We'll take over from here.
We will meet again soon, Cicero.
Cicero, are you all right?
Fine. I'd like to take a look around. Find out how this happened.
Of course. I'll leave you to it.
Song's sake. What was all this about?
Summoning Fae with his blood.
How?
She had agents within these walls. Must have done this before she pulled them out.
But why? What did she hope to achieve?
Keep searching. Sunken star.
Did you say something?
No, nothing. Did you find anything?
Nothing but moldy old cases.
Same.
Well, I don't think there's anything left for us here. We should go.
To the Hall of Songs?
Calden. I'll go. The both of you can head back to the Estiguary. I'll meet you there.
Cicero, did something happen in the prison?
What?
You seem, I don't know, a little off.
I just need some rest. It's getting late.
Hi, honey. Really? So we're not gonna just look for, like, secret stuff?
There you
Hi.
are.
Kyrie.
Cicero, you need to see this.
All right. You can leave after this. Come on.
By the blood. What is this?
You were right, Cicero. Your theory that the Fae were made of the mist was correct, but I've spent the past few days distilling it. Look at how bestial it is. There is no sense of order about it whatsoever. Now, look at this.
It's inquisitive.
And I spilt no blood.
How?
You were right about the mists. They are the building blocks of the Fae. Places with a higher density of the mist have more Fae, but what you mistook was the trigger.
Not blood, clearly.
It's... oh, how do I put this? Emotion is a close approximate. I don't think our language has an equivalent. It's, a state of mind. It's an experience. It's a...
Scythe?
Yes, exactly.
What's that?
Scythe. It was something the Dementicate would train to manipulate as they matured. Though we've never learnt what for. It roughly translates to different mediums of thought, of being. It's difficult to explain. You're saying that various Scythe create various Fae.
Yes. Pain is easy to replicate, and the Fae that produces seems base, like this one.
What were you thinking of?
The first day that I was a Vegelus, walking into the Conoscenza, seeing all the knowledge that was at my fingertips.
And different states, feelings, thoughts. Create different Fae?
If there is enough mist in the vicinity, yes. I haven't boiled it down to a science yet, but it's definitely on the way there.
Well,
So this makes you think the
Of course. Rest well.
Hall of Songs is more involved then. Since they're so focused on legacies. Now that could explain why they would want people to have kids. Because that could tie in and say, hey, the more kids are produced, the more of these, particular thoughts and things they could collect. that could be a way of explaining that a little bit, but it just seems like a little. I don't know, like an odd way of doing it. That would also explain why. That would also get like the sister more involved if she was actually the one behind the stuff. And like if she took the journal to investigate more about what Calden knew his brother was investigating. Our language has no word for it, but Amadeus says the Demented get trained to manipulate them, these things called scythe, which summons Fae. I'm not a vigilist and can't begin to guess the mechanisms of this concept I can barely grasp, but if we can find a way to use it to our advantage, I feel like the world's shifting beneath my feet. Dirges and Masquerada practice Movimento, specialized in production of music. Through instruments. The idea of Movimento first developed is seen as something an old Masquerada would practice on the field of battle. After all, how would playing an instrument be practical for anyone concerned with staying alive? Those who dare take the first step called any naysayers. The distance that Movimento provides the dirges in battle has been key to their success. Dirges have the potential to subdue and cripple their foes before they have a chance to harm the dirge. And if that is sufficient, they are armed with the ability to breathe a flicker of life into the elements through their songs, summoning minions to work their wills. To be too confident in the ability of a dirge, however, led many deaths of musicians. The great focus required to hone their wills in battle leaves them with little mental latitude to work quick reflexes. They often stand still while practicing Movimento, thus make easy pickings for their Masquerada. Wait to upgrade our skills a little bit.
First, the Estiguary. We'll be dropping Armadea and Vasco off there. Then we'll head to the Hall of Songs.
All right, sir. And that, brother, is the history of the Terrald family, from the start to their gory demise. Brother? Are you asleep? Hey!
Seventh Canticle to Coins and Kin.
Oh, brother.
Don't be too harsh on him, Elena. It's been A tiring few days.
I know.
I should be back soon with the Mariner.
We'll be here.
Hmm. Anything else to collect over here? Doesn't seem like it. Okay. Honey bunny. Honey bunny kitten boy. My little one, what are you doing? Hi. I'm trying to find bonus stuff first before I... Uh-huh. Yeah. Come on. Estrafent has as a haunting forest lies north of Ombre, far beyond the echoing plains. Not a location that many have explored, with the wildlife and the Fae that are to be found in the area are frightening and dangerous. First class Estra's beauty. These trees are vibrant and nearly garish, and the amount of life to be found within is startling, but even a short venture beyond its boughs is certain to introduce traveler to its dangers. Despite its hazards, the Estra is a favorite haunt of the Getatori of Ambra, not simply for the solace they find between the trunks of its trees. The Getatori are of the belief that studying what lives in the present is more likely to educate them about the secret of the land they are looking for and what lived in the past. Fifth Canticle. Many considers the age in which ombre flourished the most. Arts blossomed. Meliere, Messiniere, Hermante McIntyre developed. Trade in other nations boomed. Other nations saw the wealth that was flowing across the Midnight Belt, and pirates from all around began to raid. Masquerada was created in the midst of the war against the pirates. If the pirates were dealt with, however, trade did not only resume. Other nations, having witnessed from the strength themselves the strength of Ombre, how fiercely it protect its, and their traders sent their goods over the belt with almost forceful generosity. Every nation attempted to curry Ombre's favor, and through the song of crimson ties, proven its worth as an ally. Little one, behave. Sorry, he's up to mischief. Stop that. Hey, hey, hey. No. You behave. Behave yourself. Now he's just by my feet staring at me. um, the Basella began. A great many Umbrians from the Rondagio relocated to the city. Sixth Canticle. Witness growth of the population. Ruins were no longer feared. What with the power of the Masquerades having been discovered, empty space under the Sierra Verde was fully utilized. With the nation's success came the latitude for research into the Dementicate, and the Vigilists turned their focus into the past. The Luca, by this time, had turned sour, and Boris Solis was established, followed by the Dieci Sovrani. Sixes were put an end to when the registry imposed a law restricting the number of people that could come into the city. It had grown too full. Anyone who wished to live in Ombre would have to do so in the Rondagio. This ended the Miscela, and the songstresses called for the end of the Sixth Canticle.
I apologize. Did I interrupt something?
Venera, you may leave us. I will be in good company with the Inspectore. Come, Cicero, have a seat, please. I can hear an ache in your voice.
Were you in the middle of a composition?
I was, in fact, for the 8th Canticle.
So soon? The Canticle hasn't even been declared over.
I know, but this is the last year of this Canticle's 15th Misura. If anything is to happen in the coming months that should spell the end of the Canticle, I'd like to at least be prepared. Composing a song that chronicles 60 years' worth of events is not something that one does in an evening. But there is something on your mind, isn't there? I can hear the ripples of unease in your words.
It's just... How do you do it, Mirabat?
Well, first, you have to look at all the major events that take...
I mean carrying such a responsibility. A whole society rides upon this hall. Your hall. How do you handle something like that?
When I lost my eyes, some 28 years ago, do you know what I missed the most during the years after?
The faces of the dozens of handsome men that threw themselves at your feet?
Oh no, Cicero. There were only 7 that did that. No, I missed seeing smiles. Of all the years that I've been a songstress, those were the hardest.
But you pulled through them.
I drifted, more accurately. In a situation like that, can someone truly ever know what direction to head in? I thought about it, day and night, about how I could make myself feel the way I did before. How I could find that passion that I had lost along with my sight.
And you found your answer?
No. My answer found me, I'd say. It came from a small boy who had been ambushed by thugs outside this very hall and had been screaming for help.
And you rushed out, blind as you were, masquerine on your face, and you sang.
And sing I did, with all the strength in my bones.
The flames that roared that night. Ages. I still remember the look on their faces.
I scooped the little boy up and brought him into this hall. On our way in, he whispered a little something in my ear. Do you remember what he said?
Thank you. And you're very pretty.
So he did. So he did. And that was the first time that I realized that you don't need to see a smile. You can just as easily hear it.
Thank you, Mirabas. It was nice to hear that story again.
But that was not the answer that you were looking for, was it?
In all honesty, I don't even know what I'm looking for. But that's enough sullenness. I'm here for a mariner, Calden. I think he might have just had a song sung.
He did, in fact. Razatov Azris. A tragedy. He was such a sweet man. He'd been visiting the hall quite frequently over the past few months.
Razatov? Whatever for?
The Zoric culture across the sea believes that a person can sense when their time is up. They tend to try to tie up as many loose ends in the world as they can. He had me help him put a song into a chime, specifically for his brother, telling me to hand it to him in case this happened. It's like he knew.
And the mariner is somewhere on the tree?
Yes, at his Legacies branch.
Then that's where I'll be. Thank you for the story again, Mirabas.
Okay. Swells of Umber are not fertile ground for religion to take root, considering the fact that the city was founded by a man who had been exiled from his homeland on the basis of religious blasphemy. Though the first is no longer around to call the worship of extraordinary deities, citizenry today has grown much too comfortable with their independence from dogmatic scripture that any proselytizers quickly learn it is practically impossible to spread the influence of religion. So, again, what is the whole thing then with the anti-gay storyline? Like, that came out of nowhere. Like, it keeps repeating this thing of saying, oh, they're, not held by religious dogma, arts, magic, intertwining, all this stuff. So the whole thing with if it's found out that you're going on a route where you're not going to be producing kids, then you're antagonized in this city, which again they've shown none of. They've only made reference to it in that one small section. That's why I'm still trying to understand, because it still confuses me. And why I was saying that maybe if they linked it to the plot of
Vint,
Sir,
how's he holding up?
you should talk to him. I think he'd like that.
Of it being like a way to gather essence to help manufacture this Fey army. Like if the songstresses are involved in that, that would be the only link I could see and possibly understand. Otherwise, it makes no sense in the world setting. Hello, Mr. Owl. You're still very adorable. It's over there. The land of songs is not always filled with music. But a time before the song of the ages had begun, there's nothing but silence of the void. Before the people's songs came to the lands, creatures of quiet hearts ruled the domain. The consequences of the silence was clear. Their veins did not run with blood, their eyes did not sparkle with emotion. They are bereft of life because they did not sing. These times were the silent ages, and we cannot put into number how long they lasted. When there are no songs, no measures, there is no time. One day is the same as another, when the lands are mute. Sunsets and moonrises pass, but their celestial courses are stale, for they have no rhythm to dance to. Days are cold, nights are hollow, no vigor in dead silence. Now we've entered this barren space, and in our footfalls we have imbued the soils with breath. Our songs travel through not only the air, but the earth as well. Streams gush in tempo to our chorus, animals trot in accordance with our rhythms. Flowers bloom and wither, trees shed their leaves to stand stark naked, as and when the Song of Ages prescribes. We are the keepers of the ages, voices of time, custodians of the song. Never again can we let the world fall to death silent. Time before the creation of unwritten calendars can refer to the silent ages. They weren't actually completely devoid of sound, but it seemed as reflected of the centrality of songs to the early modern Omrian's culture. Okay. So sorry, my brain is like trying to connect certain things. Um so that little section there saying that like the people didn't have a flowing essence of them. The song brought out something in them, right? But the way it's worded specifically, um, no light eyes, that kind of thing, um, that piece, actually, let me bring it back up. Codex, here we go. What was that line? song connecting everything together with the essence. Veins do not run with blood. Eyes do not sparkle with emotion. Veins do not run with blood, right? Um, our dude here our dude right here uses the codename Bloodless. But the powers he works with are music based. So it's like my brain is like trying to make sense of like, what does it mean? It has to mean something. um, because why would he use that as a code name, right? Why would he use that as a code name while his powers are music based and the whole thing we just saw now with their oh gosh, now I gotta find it. uh their whole thing with music bringing life. Like I feel like there's something there. I just I don't know what. And that's gonna drive me crazy. Because I'm like, hang on. It's like you're using certain terms for a reason. Oh, my little one, yes, I know. I'm going a little over time. Um, I just want to finish this up real quick. Uh, a little bit of this. Honey Bunny, behave yourself, Mr. Stinky Breath.
He composed this himself. He came by and asked Mirabas to help him put it into this chime. Did he know?
Your brother was no fool.
Then why? Why chase a storm in rough seas?
Because he felt that he had to.
He never told anyone this, but he harbored a religion. A Sharmu, an Elysian religion. He liked to believe that there was an afterlife, a promised land that we'd go to after we passed.
I heard it in the last verse of the song.
I want so badly to believe that he's right.
A ray of light in a sea of shadows. A source of hope in a mire of despair. think he would have liked to be remembered that way.
If my brother felt that he needed to do this, to find these artifacts, then we must.
And so we will.
And as I guessed, the Judge Master has no wishes to act. Not yet.
Well, he'll have to keep waiting, won't he? We don't have any leads.
What about the golden canvas?
The portieri have searched it already. Nothing.
And my brother's work? Is there anything we can follow up on?
Nothing that hasn't already been checked out. We still don't know why he was creating Fae, but unfortunately, I don't know if we'll ever find out now.
It's true. Razatov's death has staunched the flow of the investigation. All the answers in his mind, now lost.
But that can't be it. There has to be more to this.
I mean, the song pretty much could have been code.
Some lessons can be learnt in a day.
It's late. We should get some rest.
What about our next step?
We'll convene tomorrow morning. Hopefully we'll have more ideas then.
Also, the research into how Fae are made could have been him. Like, if he found out that there was going to be some kind of planned attack, right? He could have been trying to replicate certain means. Like, if he found out about that beforehand, he could have been trying to replicate the means of them turning objects into Fae constructs. Because then he could have presented it as proof, been like, here, this is what they're gonna do, we can prepare for this, that kind of thing. The other way that it could have happened was he was researching this stuff beforehand. And they took that info from him, which I think is what the storyline has presented so far. But I feel like the song thing would have been, could have also been like some kind of hint towards like information.
You're supposed to be resting.
I don't get it.
What?
Razatov was in search of the artifacts. Artifacts that turned the Dementicate into Masquerades.
So?
Fae. How do they fit into all this? Why was Razatov creating them? What do they have to do with the artifacts?
Amadea.
We're missing something, Cicero, and if I could just...
Amadea! It's been a long day.
We're so close. Something. I can feel it. Teetering on the precipice of change.
Rather dramatic?
It's just like 5 years ago, when I thought Cyrus would... You're right. It's been a long day. I'll finish up here soon and go to bed.
Amadea.
I promise. Good night, Cicero.
I mean, it could also be... I'll talk to you after. It could also be like I was saying, how I had suspected that the masks were once people, or that the Fae were once the people, and how they basically said that, yeah, the masks were created from the people that came before. That doesn't necessarily rule out the idea of the Fae also being part of that. Like, because they talk about the faces specifically with the mask, right? The Fae could have also been other products of the breaking down of the individual into like maybe separate pieces. And so the construction of new Fae through these objects, I still think it's possible it's being used as a way to like create a little army, like secret assassins, like oops, everything's a mimic. Um, but the other possibility is that they're trying to give forms to this mist to make a fae, and then maybe recombine it with a mask to make a person, maybe? I don't know. My brain is bouncing around with some different ideas here.
Should you need me.
Thank you.
Good night, Mariner.
Raz?
She told me about her father. Said she knew how it felt to lose someone close.
Too common an experience in this city.
She might be a little rigid, but she isn't half as bad as I'd first thought. Neither is Vasco, actually. People have always said us Umbrians hide behind masks and facades. But perhaps not all masks are worn to hide dark secrets.
Go to bed, Calvin. It's late.
Check something real quick. Let me talk to this guy.
Rather bad shape.
He has been rather quiet. Oh, Cicero.
Yes?
Cicero!
Is this something I should be hearing?
Vasco was telling me about what happened to the Golden Canvas. I'd been wondering what all the ruckus was about.
You and your family got out safely, though?
Barely. Livia and Damien have gone to bed. They're not used to such excitement. But enough about our escape. I heard you weren't so lucky.
No, I wasn't.
What happened in there, Cicero?
Nothing, Ven. I'm just tired.
Then you should be heading to bed now.
No more than any of you.
You're right. Just one more drink then, and I'll be off.
Oh, my little one. Yeah, I know. You're gonna be getting your food soon. It's almost your meal time, my little man. Check the stream time. I'm actually gonna go a little longer. Because I do have work tomorrow, but it's a little bit later. My shift, so I can actually stream for a little bit longer. And I'm over time already anyway.
Those who travel with you.
Hmm? First, his family abandons him, then he loses his lover. Now he's lost his brother and has to grapple with the burden. Yet he carries on. How?
I'm sorry.
Oh, we did find some stuff here, so... Right? Okay. 15 damage, 30 protect. So the next one might be... Huh.
Well, they're going out for a short ride, all right? Nothing to make a fuss over. Who's there? You heard that, didn't you? I'm not crazy. No, let's go. All right. Where have you been hiding?
Certain peace found in this place. The world is fresh, people frantic. There's something happening, some dagger you need to be wary of. Some flash of fire you need to anticipate. Some betrayal you need to guard against. None of that matters when you're alone. Alone you're free. Alone you needn't worry about the building, or about the bindings that the world would shackle you with. Alone you can find peace. Sunken Star is great testament to that. Flowers that form a sheet of yellow in the field are known as lanyara. And brought over by British merchants who attempted to grow them in large enough quantities to produce brilliant golden dye. They failed because of an unfortunate alignment of tragic circumstances, and they abandoned the ward, allowing flowers to grow in peace. None seemed to want to claim the ward, even after the merchants left. Some said the location was poor, and it was. And others said the flowers would be too troublesome to get rid of. It was easy to take this place with this quiet wonder. Didn't know when to go because it was a symbol that he secretly wished to remain. Yet I'm here now for reasons I cannot bring myself to confess. I've been here once before, time ago when the blood in the streets ran in rivulets rather than streams. Cyrus told me to meet him here in the dead of night one evening. I had just become an inspector at the time and had pulled enough strings to get him his place as custodian of the Hall of Barons. Look at that field, brother, he said. What do you see? Flowers, I said, confused. You said you'd bring me here to see something special. This is special. What do you see amongst the flowers? Nothing, it's all yellow. Look again, he said. And I saw the wind coursing through the field. You can see the wind in the flowers. How it moves them, pulls them to its will, invisible yet so present. This place has magic to it. A subtle one to be sure, but it's here all right. I wanted to thank you for your magic, your quiet influence, the way your will works itself in the world, how it brings people together. I spoke to Lysandra. She says the Masqueraders are inspired but now that I'm custodian. Cyrus, I said, you know that wasn't my intention. You were their wind, Cicero. At that moment I knew why he'd brought me here, to pull me in, to get me to commit, to join forces with the Masqueraders, convincing me how much of a hero I was to them. Well, brother, looks like I came after all.
You are here for a reason, Cicero. Is it insanity for the gull to veer from the storm front?
Anything else? No? Nothing that way. Okay.
The lady has plans for you.
May as well lay a carpet out while you're at it.
Anything else? Seems the reluctance with which the residents of the city have treated the sun and star allowed one of its secrets to remain hidden. There's a set of ruins beneath the field of yellow. It seems mostly untouched. I wonder if the farmers that had initially claimed this ward had any idea what lay beneath it.
Here we go. Oh, great. Hold your ground!
What is that? I don't like that. Do not like. Um,
Bad, but manageable, as long as... Oh, come on. Oh, we've got this!
oh, don't stand in that. Fragment of shadow. I do not believe any records of details of such creatures. What is this world coming to? Um,
Are you following me?
I was gonna say, yeah, they are.
Ah, the quiet types, I see. Well, I look forward to some deep conversation then. Come on, let's go.
Okay.
Either of you happen to know a way across?
Are they gonna make a break?
Aren't you
Oh,
the unpredictable one?
oh, like actually. Huh. Interesting. Oh, there's multiple ways to go here. Oh. Wait. Huh? Looks like a maze. Let's see. Is there any... Okay. I'm puzzled. Alright, so that connects back to there. I feel like this section is one where it'd be very easy to Ollie to miss stuff. Okay, so we did that. Hmm. Alright, so not the right path, not the left path. This way? Huh. Oh, there's another one here.
Hold your ground!
And now back here. here. Bread. Oh, okay. But there were other colors too, so as I'm saying, I feel like it's easy to miss something here. Huh. 'Cause like, this goes back this way. The Domesticate were technologically sophisticated civilization, known from the still functioning fragments of their culture. The Tesoro, the Chimes, philosophers, how many of these things actually work? How any of these things actually work is far beyond us, and the technological gap that it presents, believed by the visuals to be too wide to bridge. Certainly it hasn't stopped any from trying, as they hold a quiet hope that one day we might be able to understand the inner workings of the ancient people and harness the powers that lay in their secrets.
Just in time, Cicero.
What are you? Lucia!
Frick.
Ready yourself.
Excuse me, why you... Oof. Yeah, pop this out.
I'm better than this.
Oh no. Well, that's not good.
Just in time, Cicero.
What are you? Lucia!
Pop it. And then... we do that. I'll also do that.
Not happening again.
Oi. Shoot. Move too soon.
Another chance.
Wake up. It's too much. Oh, you're a little rusty, it seems.
Ages, I owe you. No! That's not happening again.
Over here.
This is not gonna work.
Just in time, Cicero.
What are you? Lucia!
Yes.
Oof. Back up. How the heck do we do that?
Just in time, Cicero.
What are you? Lucia!
Come on now. Okay. Get out of the fire. Oh,
I'm better than
where's
this.
I can't get around to that. Honey, not now. Oh,
Better have an explanation for this.
baby boy, not now, sweetie. It's not your meal time yet. No, you still got a couple minutes to wait. You still got some time. You still got some time. You gotta wait. Just a little bit longer, okay? Yeah, I know. Oh my goodness. Minutes? You have to wait a couple minutes. How dare I? You're such a silly boy. Come on. Come on. Yes, I know. Baby. Being a little nudge. um. Anything else around? Let's check our skill points. We have quite a bit now. And for this, that would be good to have. What was this one? Okay.
This is it then? Well, I suppose it was nice knowing you two. Huh.
Okay. So we'll autosave there. So I will be ending the stream for now. My little man has calmed down, but it is almost time for his meal time. So I'm going to call it there for now. And yep, we are currently in a part of the game where we're investigating more of the face side of it than the mask. Although, obviously, there's a connection there. I'm curious to see if any of my other theories are correct at all, or at least leaning towards anything. So, yep, we're gonna say goodnight here. I hope that you're safe and warm, and that your fur babies are doing well. Or scaly babies, or feather babies, or however you want to refer to them. And I'll see you another time.